On to our last game, and that is the San Francisco 49ers playing the Philadelphia Eagles on January 11th, 9:30 p.m. Again, haven't played each other this year. 49ers came third in their division, obviously 12-5, though, 3 teams from the NFC West going through. A fantastic feat by them this year. Last time they did come third in their division was 2021, and they lost the NFC Championship to the Rams 20-17. 9 years Shanahan's been there now, 5-4 with getting to the playoffs. Every time they've got to the playoffs, they have been in the NFC Championship or better. Didn't know that until I researched today, which is pretty interesting. Now, Eagles win the division for back-to-back years. Obvious Super Bowl reigning champions, defending champions. Last time they didn't get past the wild card, though, was 2023. They lost to the Bucks that day, 32-9. And Sirianni has also got to the playoffs every year since he came in 2021. In the history of it with Sirianni, if they don't lose to the Bucks, they go to the Super Bowl. That's pretty much their history. Is that both the times they've been bounced has been to the Bucks, and both times they haven't played them, they obviously went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Chiefs, and then went to the other one. And sorry, if they didn't, and last time they played 49ers in 2020, beat them 31-7, but they lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. So yeah, basically, if they don't play the Bucks, they go to the Super Bowl pretty much.
So who's winning, Fred? Because you've made a case for both of them.
I think the Bucks are winning.
The Bucks may be winning. Yeah, Tampa's going to win. I just think this is. I think the Eagles have. There's more. There's actually more question marks over the Eagles than the 49ers. I think we know what the 49ers are at this point. They're very injured, but they're still very capable of putting in great performances.
I would have 100% agreed if I didn't just watch what happened with them against the Seahawks. Because everything that I thought the 49ers were, I don't know if they are now.
I don't think the Eagles are the Seahawks, though. That's my thing.
They do always turn up in the playoffs, though, for the most part. Especially Jalen Hurts elevates his game.
The Seahawks bullied the 49ers offense. And if any team can bully an offense, it's going to be the Eagles defense, which is where it's going to, when we're talking about the last game that they played, that's the area. But equally, if the 49ers start off this game strong and get in the lead quick, I can equally see the home supporters starting booing the team. So if that happens, it could go really, really odd. But does anyone else feel like Sirianni needs a slap and taken into a room and saying, what were you doing against the Commanders, the Josh Johnson Commanders? You could have had the second seed. Like when the game was playing and you saw the Bears were losing, why could he not produce something to win that game against a team that were useless? Does anyone else think that he's messed up there?
Nah, he's scared of the Packers, isn't he, mate? That's what that is.
I just think with Sirianni, nothing surprises me anymore. I thought exactly the same what you thought. He's just like, he's got to be the most.
He just rested them. That's all it was. He's just gone, sorry, I'm going to rest my players. He doesn't care. He's like, we'll beat anyone. What do we care who we play?
I do think the Eagles quite always enjoy the matchup against 49ers. I think because of what Andrew said there, in that I think Brock Purdy is great. And when they're clicking, they are very hard to sort of unsettle. But especially after what we've just, the blueprint's there now.
But couldn't you argue this Eagles team, offensively at least, has been quite inconsistent this year?
Yeah.
So the 49ers could step up and, like Andrew said, get a bit, get some points on the board. They're very used to doing some big drives that are quite quick, relatively quick, but they get points, and they can do it under adversity as well. They've not got many of their key guys for a lot of the season.
This Eagles team has just been really bad to watch all year. I haven't enjoyed. I mean, I don't enjoy watching them any year, but in terms of like, if I'm taking the Giants fan out of me, they've not been good to watch. They've not been fantastic. They're probably the least exciting team going. We're talking about going into the playoffs as well, and they're one of the highest seeds. I just think 49ers. I think they've done a fantastic job to get this far in terms of regular season football with the injuries they've got. but that's regular season and not playoff football. And playoff football, they lost 2 more linebackers, didn't they? In the game against the Seahawks, they had about 6 or 7 people go into the blue tent. I think it's 1 too many. I know they rested a few on offense, but maybe it's 1 too many. I would love to see the 49ers win this game. I think it would be, a coaching masterclass to get past this Eagles defense to win this. But yeah, it's a boring team in the Eagles against a banged up team in the 49ers. It's I don't know it's a weird one to call. Obviously, I want the 49ers to win, but as I said, the matchup favors the Eagles, doesn't it?
I'm going to pick the Eagles in the spirit of a reverse jinx. I think this week, other than the Patriots, I'm just going to pick every team that I don't want to win. So I'm going to go with the Eagles because there's enough there to at least justify it with, like you said, they're banged up, Andrew, and there's a lot of blueprint there for the Eagles defense. The game's going to be one if the Eagles defense can play on their terms. I still have massive question marks over the play calling offensively for them to, make a deep run. But yeah, I think the Eagles probably have, because the Niners fans, I keep seeing Niners fans talking about, but Fred Warner should be back at some point in the playoffs. I'm like, you have to get at least to the title game for that to happen. Like, you've got to at least get through 2 games first. And as much as I like Brock Purdy, I just think maybe it's one place you don't want to go and play. One of the top, say, 3 to 5 stadiums in the league where it's going to be particularly intimidating.
I'd have to agree with that. I think though I'd like San Francisco to win, I do think, and though I could see San Francisco win it, I think I agree with Andrew with it. This is maybe just a step too far. I mean, when you're down to like your 4th string guys against, the Eagles offense hasn't been great, but it is still Saquon Barkley. It is still Devontae Smith. It is still AJ Brown. Like, they're still really good players. And as much as I did the whole, how well the Niners have done in the playoffs, if they're a team that does start to thrive, that in recent years has thrived in that playoff big game scenario, it is the Eagles. And they have come out again, only against the Bucs have they not done well, but they have thrived in them games. And I think their defense, it doesn't shy away in the playoffs. Their defense is too good to shy away. And actually, maybe I think Purdy's pretty decent, but they have enough firepower on their defense to make it really uncomfortable for Purdy. And I think that's where he gets a little bit, I think that's where he gets a bit loose, to be honest.
Yeah, agree. Sorry, did you want? Yes, agreed. I think Eagles win easy. 49ers are banged up. And
they've still got Christian McCaffrey. Just give him the ball.
I think they have a better record than what they've actually been. Myself, I think the schedule's been kind.
Very interesting how he always says about the Patriots. Who are they beating? And then it's, the schedule's been kind to the 49ers.
I think the schedule has been kind.
We said this before the season started, that the 49ers had one of the easiest schedules going into it, but they've managed to get these wins with the injuries. So, if they didn't have the injuries,
they've done well. It's, as we said when we were talking about the coaching, I think it's been a very impressive coaching performance from Shanahan this year. But I think the Eagles, I think they might grind their way quite a long way in this playoff run.
Can I say Andrew's point about Christian McCaffrey? I will say, I do think for some reason, if Ricky Pearsall plays, I don't know why. He's been doing better since, but he's supposed to be. I know he's supposed to be playing, Andrew, but it's just that they said that last week, and then randomly before kickoff he was inactive. I think if he plays, we talk about people like McConkey on the Chargers. Obviously, he's not to that level yet, but I just think there are certain players when you look at matchups could be difference makers.
There's just certain white guys around this league who just making it.
Certain white boy slot receivers. I've seen it. And I think if he plays, well, he might be doing this.
You might
in front of the Eagles fans.
I think this has got another 13-3 loss for the 49ers written all over it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite.
You don't think it'd go over 16? It would go over 20 points for the Eagles.
I don't think their offense hasn't been great. I don't think they're going to sort of like suddenly become this amazing team that's going to hit high points in games. But the defense is just very, very good. And the 49ers, they've got McCaffrey. But, I mean, what did he do against the Seahawks then? It's that thing, isn't it? Where it's like, I just think you're dealing with another defense that's very, very good.